Welcome to Cryptor, new channel designed to talk about cryptocurrencies, explaining in a lot more detail. So just a little about me. I got into cryptocurrency around about a year ago. I've been investing heavily in shares previously before that, but now I've really picked up. I've got a passion more for the technology, not just the investing side of things. So I like to know a lot more about what these coins actually represent and how they can actually use the blockchain technology. So don't expect any of my things to be talking really around about pumping and dumping because I'm not about pumping and dumping. I'm not about making a quick dollar. The closest thing you'll get to me liking pumping and dumping is just the dumping part of it. And I'm talking about taking a big giant dump and that's it. But I'm not into like pumping and dumping, blowing up coins and then making other people suffer. Okay, we're meant to be in this all together. That's what the cryptocurrency and the community is all about, man. We got to be together in order for this to work. Okay, awesome. Yeah, well, let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about salt. Salt. Oh, I love this coin. I love the idea. I love what the team has. It's a really strong team, big leadership. I won't go too much into that bit. You can probably find that online. Look, it's top 100. I like to talk about, or if we're going to do this, talk about, I really like the top 100 coins. Salt's ranked about 54 as we speak. So everyone knows what it's like to try to go to the bank and try to get a loan, okay, or a credit card. It's a nightmare, okay, particularly if you've messed up on your phone bill some way down the track, or you've accidentally missed some repayments on your credit card. That bank just stamps a big red fat no right on your application forms, and it sucks, okay. So a lot of people, they struggle to probably try and find someone who's going to be able to lend them some money. But this is where probably Salt steps in, and it opens up to a lot of people who might have this kind of issue, but just in general, be able to borrow some of the money that they want and be able to use it to the things that they want to do without having all these regulations that the banking financial institutions are going to have. For example, we go to the banks and I'll be like, hey man, come on, I want to lend me some money, man. I want to get, like a time machine. And they'll be like, no, you're crazy. We ain't lending you for that kind of money. But then hey, I could just go to Salt right now and get that money, build my time machine, and complete my dreams. I guess the consequences on that would be that if you have a heroin addiction and a lot of Salt currency, you've got no problem buying more heroin. So the customers of Salt are pretty much going to be able to get loans from them. So Salt will lend them the money, and in exchange for those customers' cryptocurrencies. So it's pretty much Salt's going to be holding all of their assets and the customers are going to be able to get the cash. So while Salt leverages you these assets on the blockchain, you're going to get cash loans. It's as simple as that. All right, so you get money, they hold on to your cryptos. Okay, so that means if you've messed up on that loan, pretty much what's going to happen is that they're going to hold your cryptocurrency. So they're making that as a secured asset. It's kind of like when you are getting a car loan with the major banks. You pretty much have that loan and it may be attached to that car. So if anything happens, you can't make those repayments, then they pretty much take everything and sell it from there. Similar way, but with cryptocurrencies. So Salt has pretty much a simple application, and it normally is meant to get approved quite quickly. And like I said, the benefits are no credit checks. So that can help with also processing the loan, where outside in a bank, it does take some time. Some of the consequences, I guess, and what I don't really understand how they'll be able to manage, but I'm sure they'll probably be able to figure it out, is that what happens if the Salt currency fluctuates? What happens if it goes up? Isn't that an opportunity cost for the person who was taking out the loan? Or what happens if it fluctuates and goes down? Isn't that a cost to Salt, and how are they going to manage with those levels of fluctuations? Because we know with the volatility of cryptocurrency that it can go up and down by 20, 50% or even more. But I guess that's something that they're going to figure out. I'm not too sure how they're going to do it. But I guess the main thing is that you can trust Salt with your funds without having any kind of borrowing concerns, which is a really major thing when it comes to lending. Most people do look for trust. And I guess one of the benefits of having Salt secure your Salt coins as collateral is that it typically allows you to have a more efficient process, allows you to be able to get a quicker form of cash. Plus, pretty much if you were with the banks, you don't have, say, if you're going to borrow a personal loan, something usually tied to that. And what the banks tend to do, and particularly if you have bad credit rating, is jump up your interest rates to ridiculous amounts. And then they wonder why you can't pay your loan back when you got around about 5,000 extra dollars worth of interest repayments that you got to make. So this is one potential benefit I really like of Salt, by using that as collateral. I think that's a really good thing. And look, I think Salt's fantastic. If we look on Coin Checkup, I mean, they've got a really strong analysis score. The communication channels are amazing. Everyone knows something about them. Their product strength is really good, which I just recently just talked about. They have great awareness, but a really good, I think they have a really good board strength as well. But there are a lot of promotion that's coming through, and that's why we do see a lot of comments when on other YouTube channels with people asking about Salt. They have brought a lot of brand awareness, and obviously these days brand awareness is probably the most important thing. That's what actually causes people to understand what's out there, and that's why I'm a long-term holder for Salt. So whether or not you should invest in it, like I said, I don't do that type of shit. I think it's something that you have to make up yourself. Look, I think it's a great coin. I think it's got a great idea and a great message behind it. And they do have a roadmap, and all these things are really important, because when you ask yourself, and particularly if you're going to invest your money, you got to ask, is this going to be around in the future? And of course, lending is always going to be a pivotal part in our lives. So that's why I'm a strong believer in Salt. I think it's going to do well in the future. It might need a bit more time. It's definitely not a short-term investment. So if you're a strong believer in that type of thing and you think that this is something that's going to really catch on, then look, I think Salt could be a great pickup, even at today's price. But I think one thing we got to factor in as well, just mentioning all that, I mean, a lot of people these days, and particularly in countries like Australia, is that we all have massive amounts of debt on things like credit cards. And it makes it really more difficult to be able to get loans as well in the future on top of that. So this type of thing is going to be more available to more people, particularly not in just that situation, but businesses as well. Whether it's small businesses or large businesses, it could be for miners. Miners may need further lending capacity as well to be able to keep things running. So I really believe in Salt. I think it's a great one, and I think people, if you are interested, check it out. And yeah, if you've got any questions about it, let this boy know. Appreciate all the comments. Look, I'm going to try and make some videos on a regular basis. I'll try and cover some of the coins that I'm holding and things I'm looking at purchasing. There are a few that I'm really highly interested in. I'll let you guys know about some that I think about on my next videos. I might do some beginner tutorials as well that will probably be coming up, like how do you buy coins, what kind of exchanges should you do, pros of exchanges, consequences of exchanges. So look, I'll start getting some exciting content out for you, and yeah, look, maybe one day, and I'll buy a new microphone. Yep, so comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, eat a banana.